Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Kingdom Hearts.
Pup lore.
Yeah, well, we just have to see how these pup lore plays out. Like, will Western democracy fall? It all depends on the pups that we rescue.
Does Sora even have a
Whose
concept of what
allegiance-
Western democracy is?
Sora doesn't, but the pups do. And we, as the audience, are
I
aware.
suppose, yeah, that's like the meta plot within the actual plot. Like, the main story is about Sora going on trying to save his friends, but like the story beneath that is like...
The pups taking down
meaning-
Western democracy.
Exactly. And about the, potential fragility of government systems.
Sora doesn't know. Sora's just
Sora
doing
doesn't
what he
clue.
can to save the worlds.
Exactly.
He doesn't work in politics. He works in hero work.
Sora's the last person who should work in politics.
So I've been, have you watched Attack on Titan, Seth?
I watched the first 2 seasons, but after season 1 came out, I was way too impatient
I mean,
to
it was
wait.
4 years before season 2.
Yeah, so I started, once season 1 ended, I just read the manga up until, up until the point it was, and I was reading it monthly until around the manga got to where I think season 4 starts, and at that point it just kind of went like so off the rails, and not off the rails, but just like so far off what it had been, and like it only comes out like once a month, so it couldn't keep up. So it was a long time to wait a month for the next installment on these characters I didn't know. So I kind of fell out of it.
So wait, I've watched up to season 4.
All the way through. Okay.
All the way through what's out.
I know what is currently
wait,
through season 4 is beyond.
Spoiler alerts. Go.
I know that season 4 is past where I read to. So you are ahead of me. It's probably the one series I can say that about.
So am I supposed to revisit places now? Because Goofy just said, oh no, I
You
can
can
go
because
here.
you can fly, but yeah. I mean, you can go to finish Olympus, you can go beat Ursula if you feel like it, but...
Oh.
I think it was just talking about,
We could do that.
You have Glide now, so you can go back to other worlds to find stuff you couldn't before.
Should we try Ursula?
I mean, you
Give
can.
it a shot?
You got a strength level up at least, so...
Well, I mean, we've done Halloween Town and Neverland
Yep.
since, so maybe we can take it. We'll see.
Probably.
So anyways, where are you then? What do you know?
I know... Okay, I got a spoiler from Riley, because she was trying to gauge where I was. But I am... So, they get to the basement, they have their meeting about the basement, and then it very quickly changes to, like, the place where Ryan is from.
Yeah.
And he's the one character you know in this world of just, like, child soldiers. And that went on for a bit, and you meet...
It goes on for a long
Yeah, and there's this thing about a train, but I don't remember what that was about. And there's like, you find out later is Aaron hanging out by like this orphanage or mental hospital place.
Yeah.
And some stuff goes there, and then they start their attack on the thingamabob. And for some reason, that was when I fell out. I think because I just lost track, because I wasn't really paying attention to what I was reading. And I had no idea what was going on, so by the time the attack started, I was like, I am so lost.
Yeah.
So that's where I stopped.
I don't like what they're doing.
No?
No.
Okay.
I don't like season 4. I like seasons 1 through 3. I haven't read the manga, so I don't know what chapters that equates to.
No, that's, yeah. I have a good idea, because, like, the seasons are pretty good in keeping, like, story threads, so I know...
Yeah, season
season
4
3.
starts right with focusing on
the
other country.
I assumed.
So, everything before that, I'm down with.
Yeah, that was all
But
good.
then there's a 4-year skip.
I didn't know how long it was, but... Yeah, 4 years.
And it's just like, I don't care for what they did. I just don't. We've spent all this time with these other characters, right?
Yeah.
And now they're trying to get us to sympathize with these new characters, which is not a bad thing.
It's an interesting narrative choice.
Yeah,
and I respect that.
It's not necessarily a bad choice, but also, like, where am I going?
I think just right across there. Or
here?
I think so. No, not here. I think further up the tunnel. And then if you go to the left, that's like Ursula's grotto. If you go to the left or right, that's her boss fight. So I want to go in there to get a checkpoint. Yeah.
Okay.
Then cross.
Yeah, now this looks familiar. But, anyways, they're trying to get us to sympathize with these characters, right? Mm-hmm. But you also find out it's basically a World War II allegory. And they're basically Nazis, you know?
Ah, gotcha.
Like, based on where you said you are, you know that they have, like, armbands and stuff, right?
I am spotty. This was, like, years
ago that you read this?
Yeah, like, I was in high school, I think, when I fell off. And where I got to this point. So I am very far removed from the details. I remember Titans were falling from the sky at one point. Early on.
Yeah, they like weaponized Titans and stuff. But
yeah.
It's just... I'm gonna get some. They're trying to get us to sympathize with these characters, but they're also like, but they're basically Nazis.
They're basically Nazis. Child Nazis.
And... Ugh. And, like, one of the kids just kills a character, and I'm just like, okay, no, she should die.
Right.
I hate this child so much. This is so much easier.
She's got a bunch more defense.
Well, I mean, look how fast we're taking down her health.
Oh yeah, that too.
We're gonna heal. Oh, that wasn't fun.
Hero.
Yeah, I should be. Like, I don't even have arrow on, and that didn't even take a... Well, it took about a third.
Get ready for this.
I'm gonna... Oh, there's arrow. Thank
Donald.
you, Donald.
What a champion.
Oh, didn't make it. Okay. It's fine. This arrow's doing work.
Very tasty.
Okay, gotta heal. Someone else healed me too. Don't know if it was Donald or Ariel. Probably Ariel.
Oh,
come on, just
on.
like 3 hits.
There. Yeah!
There we go. We did
wow. Amazing what a few levels will do.
Oh, jeez. That was easy peasy lemon squeeze me that time.
Imagine Ariel just waiting the whole time you're gone, though. Like, why just leave?
We did it.
Hooray.
But, okay, where was I in this conversation? Yeah.
Nazis.
So, yeah, they're trying to get us to sympathize with them, but they're also like, oh, but they're hardcore Nazis, pretty much. Like, they constantly refer to the main characters that we've grown to love.
Yeah.
As, like, devils, island devils, and...
Yeah, because they, like, demonized basically everyone that was on the island. That's just, like...
Yeah.
The propaganda they're told as children or whatever. Like, don't go to the islands full of demons.
Which is exactly how the Nazis treated the Jewish people. I'm just saying. Like, it's a very thinly veiled allegory to the Nazi regime. Although with the caveat of Jewish people didn't actually do anything.
Yeah.
But these people can actually turn into giant monsters, which is a more reasonable source of fear-mongering than...
Which kind of makes your allegory fall apart if the victims can fight back.
Yeah. But, I don't know, I just... Because I've read how it ends. Have you read the whole manga? No, you haven't.
No,
you
I haven't. I've been meaning to for a couple months now, but I just haven't gotten around to it. Actually, no, that's not true. I've been meaning to for like years because I need to get back into it, but I haven't.
I wasn't reading. What do I have to do? I haven't sealed the keyhole.
Yeah, you have to go to the keyhole. It's in Ariel's grotto.
Ariel's grotto? Okay. But so I looked on Wikipedia because
You didn't want
it
to
ends.
keep watching. You just wanted to figure out how it ends because you weren't really invested enough to keep watching.
Yep. Well, and we only have up to episode 16 of season 4 at time of recording.
Okay.
We're not gonna have anything more because we're a little bit behind. So, the next, it's not done.
Yeah.
And
the manga
it's not,
just ended like a month and a half ago or something.
and from what I've read, the
And I also
anime
heard
is not ending until like winter of 2022.
Okay.
And I'm just like,
That makes sense since the ending was so recent.
and that's not even just that's the Japanese.
Oh yeah. Well,
And
Dub's like super far behind or super close, isn't it? It's like a week behind or something.
It shouldn't be too long after, but I just like it cuts off right at like right in like the middle of a climax.
Oof.
So
that's like the end of the season?
the end. It's
Or are they
technically
cutting,
mid-season.
They're cutting season 4 in half?
Yeah.
Like they did with Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
So I'm just like, I'm not happy with what they're doing with the characters and stuff, and so I wanted to see if like
Does it get
does
better?
it get better? And the answer was basically no.
Okay. Yeah, I heard at the time of release the ending was kind of controversial.
Yeah, I'm not happy with how it ended because here was my relationship with Attack on Titan, right?
Okay.
I started watching because a lot of people liked it and it praised the art style, and quite frankly, the art style in the first 3 seasons is great. It's so unique.
And the openings are banging tunes.
But in the 4th season, first of all, they switched to a different animation company,
Oh, that's never a good sign.
and it's not bad animation. It's still good animation, but it looks like every other anime now. You know, like there was such uniqueness in the line quality and in the shading and stuff of Attack on Titan in the first 3 seasons, but now it just looks like every other anime. Also, there's a bit of an issue I've noticed with the animation. It's not a very prevalent issue, but I'm pretty sure they have one animator who's doing this.
Okay.
Because do you know anything about how 2D animation kind of works in 2020?
On a very basic level.
So I'm done here now, right?
Yes, if you got the world-specific Keyblade, you're done.
Cool. So basically, like, you know, animation is too complicated to just be done all by one person, right?
Yeah.
So there's a team, but it's not like you have 3 different people working on the same scene. No, because that would be cumbersome and not make sense.
You have to keep them who's drawing which characters in each scene.
So it's split into like segments, like these 5 seconds or whatever we'll give to this person, and then it gets doled out like that. So there are a couple of times when there are just like talking scenes where there's no action happening. They're just people like sitting at a table or something. Yeah. Talking. And typically
the exposition or drama scenes.
Typically what happens in anime is there's not a whole lot of movement necessarily, and it actually looks natural
when they're just talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have just one drawing of the head and then they draw the lip animation separately.
But that's not what this animator does.
Oh no?
There's too much movement.
Oh, he's going all in on it.
It looks like bad acting where, like, I'm sorry I'm not playing the game, but I have to example to Seth what this looks like. It's because, you know, we're talking right now and there's movement happening with our hands and stuff. But for them it's like every movement does this with their head.
Oh wow.
And this is something that some animators do to maybe try to add life. And it looks like this, and it's very unnatural.
Okay.
And I've only noticed it a couple times, which makes me think there's one specific animator on the team.
There's one guy
who does that.
He's really passionate about his work.
But it's like, well, congratulations, Rhina, for coming back. We're so happy that you're able to... And it's just like... Okay, you don't have to move your head that much, and then it cuts to like Rhina, and Rhina it's the typical anime thing of just the mouth, and then subtle movements when necessary, which feels like lifelike. So that's,
or at least what we've like been expected to perceive as lifelike from anime.
Yeah,
style.
there's as lifelike as as like animation really gets, you know. Not overly animated. So
or like symbolic.
So I've just that's something that I've noticed that I was like, "Oh god, why are they moving so much?" It's like when actors don't know what to do with their hands.
They just yeah, okay.
It's not a big issue, and I've only noticed it a couple times, like I said. So overall, I'm not disappointed with how the animation has been.
It's just like it didn't happen.
Oh crap, I did normal drive.
Then you can just leave. Yeah.
But the story... I keep thinking I have to select it, and then select what drive I want to use to get there. That's not how that works.
Save your button press.
Okay. So, like, the animation is not really my issue.
Right.
There are some character design choices that are weird. And I know that was... I looked up reviews when I finished the season because I wanted to see what other people are thinking.
Yeah.
Basically what I got is that as it was coming out, there were a lot of people who... How do I shoot with
Circle?
this? Circle, thank you. It's been a while since we've flown in the gummy ship. But what I saw was that a lot of, like, critics and stuff... I don't even know if it was necessarily critics of the anime.
Okay.
Specifically. I don't even know if it was critics necessarily, or if it was fans. Most of what I was seeing was like, oh, well, it's switching animation companies.
Yeah, the gummy ship's pretty weak for this stretch.
Is there... do I have, like,
Do you have any what?
How do I... Okay.
Gummy garage is square.
Are there blueprints in this game? Because I don't want to build one.
Maybe? Okay, I think there are, but in order to get them, you have to do the gummy ship challenges.
Ugh. So it's probably best if
Either
I don't want to
try
do
to
this...
very quickly attach some, like, HP...
Ah, blueprints.
Oh, no, they're there.
So what am I looking for?
I don't know. I assume blocks used equates to HP. I don't know.
Well, we'll try the Cindy. Insufficient parts. Yeah, sure. I don't care. Ta-da! Done.
Sweet. Yes.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Oh,
There.
it's not flyable.
It's not?
No, I guess you're missing the
Fuck.
crucial piece. Did you just soft lock yourself into having to...
No, I'm pretty sure I can go back to this one.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. This one's not flyable in general. Insufficient parts.
I guess just...
Just go with it.
Or just check all of them, see if there's any you do have the parts for.
I guess this one.
Carbuncle it is.
Oh, it's faster.
There you go. Alright. Oh yeah, you're cruising.
I can't shoot.
Oh! Alright.
Why is this a blueprint?
Hey,
I literally can't shoot.
It'll get you to point B faster.
Will it? It won't if I die, because I can't get rid of
get you there
anything
at all.
in front of me.
Are there other... Try all the buttons. See what else...
I'll try again with all the buttons.
Maybe just try to add a gun to it yourself?
Yeah!
Nothing's happening. Okay.
Oh, God. I'll die. I hate Gummy Ship. I hate it in this game. It's so... Like, in 2, you can just, like, equip...
Build a donut ship.
Or you can just equip, like, blueprints. That's what I've been... When I've been playing through 2, I just, like, keep going up in blueprints, and it works fine.
Yeah.
It's the option to build is there if you want, but you really don't have to.
Just build a super easy donut ship. Works every time.
I don't want to do this.
Your best bet is just to tough through it with the
I
kingdom
agree.
ship.
No. So the reason why I brought up Attack on Titan in general is because I've seen some places comparing it to like Full Metal Alchemist, and I'm like,
Okay.
I don't know. I think
one?
Full Metal Alchemist is better.
Which one? There's
Brotherhood.
two. Okay.
Specifically.
If I haven't seen, like, you know, the last, like, season's worth, or read the last season's worth of Attack on Titan, but if the fact that there's a discussion about it is coming up, I feel like, Brotherhood's probably significantly better.
Yeah.
I will say there might be a case where, over time, what Attack on Titan chose to do narratively stands out when, because, you know, the time spent while reading it or watching it season to season or reading it month to month is a lot more than the amount of time people are going to spend watching or reading it now.
Mm-hmm.
And so it'll be much less jarring for people watching it now and seeing it now than it will be for, you know, people who were watching and reading it, you know, when it started and as was going.
Yeah.
I want to wonder if, like, the perspective shifts and getting you attached to the first characters and then switching you to the perspective of new characters, like, so The Last of Us 2 did a very similar thing. Now, full disclosure, I haven't actually played this game, but I've just heard, like, a lot of other people talking about it, and from what I've seen, it takes your pre-established connection with Ellie and kind of uses it against you to sort of give a perspective shift and try to make you consider, like, other people's perspectives on, like, similar scenarios.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Attack on Titan did a similar thing, which is a very ballsy move to do, to try and get you to, like, use its main characters against you.
I know what you mean. Okay, as someone who hasn't been watching, like, month to month or whatever, and, like, just kind of watched all of it.
Though. Or are you just watching it all, like, now?
I'm just watching it all now.
Okay.
I watched the first 2 seasons, like, in high school, and then I haven't even remotely tried to keep up
about
with it. Yeah.
Oh, there you go, first try.
But, my biggest issue isn't with the showing the other perspective. It's they change the characters. They change the main characters and their motivations and stuff in that 4-year gap. And for me, what it feels like is when I started to explain my relationship with Attack on Titan, so I have to go through that first.
Okay.
When I started watching Attack on Titan back in, like, high school, what first intrigued me about it was not the characters, but the world, right? All these questions about what's going on in the world.
A lot of mysteries.
What are Titans? How did everyone get behind these walls and stuff? And so what engrossed me was getting answers to those questions. And they did a really good job of, like, giving answers to some things while raising more questions about the world. For a long time, they had that going.
The end of season 3, they answer all the questions.
Everything.
Everything.
They answer every question.
But there's another season's worth and, like, decades worth, not, like, 5 years worth of chapters and everything. Of story afterwards.
So I initially got in because of these questions and, like, my curiosity about the world at large. I really didn't care for Eren. I liked Armin and Mikasa. I liked enough. But as time went on, I grew to really like all the characters except for really Eren. Eren kind of pissed me off for a long time. But towards the end of season 3, they do a good job of making him a dynamic character. So he changes with the times, and as he changes, like,
So tell me,
he becomes more likable.
Yeah.
So over time, I started getting attached to these main characters and stuff, and I cared about the characters. So then season 3 rolls around and it answers every question. And I feel like they were like, well, now
Well, it's
we've
not
lost
they,
the
it's one person. This
Yeah.
is one author making these decisions.
I
not
feel
a
like he
studio.
was like, okay, well, now how do I bring the intrigue from the original run of this back to what I've got now that I've answered all the questions? I'm gonna do a 4-year time skip.
Bold
And then all
choice.
those questions are going to
The
come
first
from
time.
what happened in those 4 years. And I really hate when things do that. This is not the only series that has done this. Like, Young Justice did this. And
Time skips specifically, or trying to raise mysteries from time skips?
both.
Okay.
I mean, I don't mind a time skip
Yeah.
in general. But when like you're trying to make it so that the source of mystery in your story comes from not knowing what characters were
Yeah.
doing, it's just like, okay, well,
As I've always pushed you.
that's
It's
just
like
annoying.
trying to answer mysteries to the few hours in your past when you were like just pissed drunk and can't just trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah, like the Hangover.
It's just the hangover.
It's and I don't mind it for like a one-off like Hangover, right? But when you're doing
That's
this
the
for
premise.
the whole season, and it's just like, because in the original 3 seasons, we were on the same page as the characters.
Yep.
The whole time. Like,
Yep.
as they learn stuff, we learn stuff.
Yeah.
We, when we are entered into the series, are aware of what the characters are aware of.
Yep.
But then they get rid of all of that by being like, okay, we're skipping 4 years ahead, and we're also going to be joining new characters in this new world that you have to learn about while forgetting about the old characters. And
You were just the delivery
they've
boy.
changed in these 4 years, and their situation has changed in these 4 years, but you're not going to know what that is
Here,
because it's
go
been
play
4
hero
years,
with this.
which is just kind of frustrating as a viewer, for me as a viewer.
Right. I imagine for a lot of people it's going to be the case. I'm curious as to my reading. I'm probably going to read it. Reading now. With knowing... It's not exactly specific spoilers, but like general conceptual spoilers as to like kind of like how the narrative goes.
Oh, and back to the point about the characters, right? Is I cared about these characters, and I started to care about Aaron.
Yeah.
Finally, toward the end of season 3, I'm like, Aaron's grown as a person, and he's not an annoying little guy who's
Shit.
just like, I just want to kill the Titans. Like, that's not his only motivation anymore.
Yeah.
So he's like likable now, and then they change him, and I hate him again.
Oh no.
And they do things with him that I've read in the Wikipedia article about Attack on Titan. That I'm like, okay, I hate that. I hate that decision. I hate it so much.
To fight for Bell.
You'll see when you get there what I'm talking about. You might not feel the same way, but you'll see
Right.
what I mean. What I'm referring to.
Yeah. I imagine
I won't leave.
opinion-wise, even if we're on the same page, at least factually we will be.
So I'm just like, and I brought up Full Metal Alchemist because of the comparisons, and I wanted to see what your thoughts are on Attack on Titan versus Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay.
And it seems like you've fallen on like Brotherhood is like
I can't
a
say-
really good.
Brotherhood's really good. It is one of my favorites. Yeah. I watched the original as well after seeing Brotherhood. Yeah, I love Brotherhood. It was the one anime I own on DVD. Which, to be fair, I got before streaming became a thing. But anyways.
Puppies! Puppies! More to add to the cause.
Ooh, which side will they join? Back to Kingdom Hearts stuff.
So anyways, I just wanted to have that discussion
Yeah.
since I've now seen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's like a masterpiece necessarily.
It's worth, like, I imagine...
good.
Yeah. I mean, mysteries sure is a big thing, but, like, I'm thinking a lot of what got garnered interest in originally was, I assume, animation quality as well as
Yeah.
just, like, going places and taking like initial risks. Like as a first-time viewer, unless you're super trope savvy, like the main character dies in episode 4,
Yeah.
and it's like whoa, and like that was horrifying. I had watched episode 4 and then I had to like take a break for a week, so I was like that was too much. Because getting eaten alive is like a really strange fear of mine.
Oh, it's a really strange fear of a lot of people. I think
Yeah.
that was part of the oh god, am I dead?
Yeah, it's just like horror. No, you're not. You cannot fall to your death. You just fall down here.
But yeah, I think that was a big draw for a lot of people was...
It's horrifying.
Yeah. What is happening? Okay.
You not
Here
remember?
now. No, I don't.
Oh, okay. But yeah, and then season 4 is basically doing a soft reset of sorts. I'm just going to refer to it as season 4 because saying manga chapter 86 or whatever doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah, it's basically an entirely different series.
Yeah.
But the issue is it's got the same characters.
Yeah, and I don't want to say for certain until it's like what, like if maybe it's like it's probably still thematically consistent, because I have to assume that this was on some stage planned from the beginning.
I'm not so certain.
Regardless
about
of how it's executed, I want to see if there was like some thematic consistency at least.
I think that there was way too much coincidence with the fact that there were 9 scouts left alive, and there are also 9 titans.
Yeah.
I think there was way too much coincidence there, and I think that there might have been a plan for that got changed somewhere down the line. You know, because Aaron had 2 titans, with the founder and the attack titan, thanks to his dad.
Yeah.
And Mikasa's just a badass with a sword, but there was potential there for everybody else to maybe become a titan. And then it just didn't go anywhere because that's just not what happened. But my immediate thought when they were like, these 9 scouts left alive, and I was aware of the fact that there were 9 main titans, I was like, we all gonna get a titan? Is that what's gonna
What
happen?
am I gonna do? Just fleshy Gundam series from now on?
Were you the one I was talking to about that?
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, I was must have been Dylan. We were talking. I was talking to Dylan about what he thought about where do you think the premise for Attack on Titan came from? Like from the mind of the guy. How do you think he came up with it? Because the way I see it, it was one of 2 things. We should end the episode actually.
Oh, yeah,
so let me kill these guys and finish this conversation with you quick. The way I see it, it was one of 2 things. Either he was like, so giants aren't so much seen as scary anymore, like they were when maybe Jack and the Beanstalk first came out.
Yeah.
Was first released
As a
fairy tale.
Yeah.
So how do we make giants scary again? And maybe that's
Make
where the
them
concept
eat
came
people.
from.
Or make them eat people is a pretty safe slap onto anything to make it scary, but anyways.
Or was he just like, what if mechs but flesh?
Yeah.
I think it was one of those 2.
Who's to say it wasn't both?
Yeah, maybe. Because it didn't occur to me until this
You know you can't beat these guys, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
The beast is doing all the work.
It didn't occur to me until my recent playthrough. Can I fire them, though?
Oh, you might be able to use magic. Yeah, okay, you can use magic and you can hit them to regain magic. It's not very efficient.
It worked.
It worked. And they drop a lot of MP. Suspicious.
So, anyways. Because it didn't occur to me until this recent watch through that they are basically flesh mechs.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Tune in next time. Bye.
Later, skaters.